Varsity Quiz Bowl. And today, Clark Brady, Kent Davis, Stephen Ross, and Nicholas Sloop from De La Salle High School will meet in a battle of quick recall. David DeLotte, Michael Langridge, Grant Ruchon, and Stephen Shasby from Holy Cross School. The alternate from De La Salle is Stephen Varner, and the coach, Barbara Thornhill. And the alternate from Holy Cross is Kent Kapner, and the coach, Pamela Pearson. And now, here's our moderator, Mel Levitt.
Thank you, everybody. Well, hello. Welcome once again to Varsity Quiz Bowl. We're in our second round of play, and of course, the winner today will advance to the round of 16 on our way to the championship. Before we begin officially, let me introduce our scorer, Dr. Ann Akers. Pardon me, that's our judge. Our scorer is right next door, Phyllis Hartley. After 14 years, I can't get the denomination right. And here's Cliff Deal. He's our recognizer. Let's have a nice round of applause for them. Phyllis, of course, is Associate Director of Records at the University of New Orleans. Cliff is a student at Loyola, a WYS intern. Ready to go, gentlemen? Each has one victory. And here's our first face-off. We're leading up to a lanyap of 20 points. For quick 10, tell me, what one word is the name of the street in New Orleans, a city in Thuringia, Germany, and the site of a Napoleonic victory? What one word?
Holy Cross, Ruchon.
Elysian?
No. De La Salle? Anyone? Depending on where you are, it's called Jenna, Gina, or Jana. J-E-N-A is the one word. Another face-off. The Senate has unanimously approved the nomination of Jean Kirkpatrick to an ambassadorship. For 10 points, what will her...
De La Salle, Sloop.
Ambassador to the United Nations.
You're correct for 10 points, and De La Salle's on the board. All right, De La Salle, that entitles you to this audio lanyap for 20 points. I'm going to ask you for 2 answers to specific questions in a moment, but first I'd like you to listen to this music. That's a part of a well-known and beautiful symphonic poem. It's based on his country's national epic poem, Kalevala. It expresses the composer's impressions of his country's forests, lakes, the cool summers, the snowy winters. For 10 points apiece, given that additional information, can you name the composer and the title of the work you just heard? It exudes national pride.
Mr. Brady.
All right, Mr. Brady, can you answer?
Finlandia.
Correct.
Sibelius.
You got them both. 20 points. That's it. We have another face-off. We're going for a lanyap at 20. Speaking of Finlandia, we call the capital of Finland Helsinki. For 10 points, what is the Finnish name for that city? It's a little tough. You hardly
De La
ever see
Salle,
it.
Sloop.
Helsinki?
No. It's also sometimes called Helsingfors by Anglos. However, Suomi, S-U-O-M-I, is what they call it. All right, we have another face-off. It is a dye that comes from a plant that grows chiefly in India. Dyers used it on cotton wool.
Holy Cross, Langridge.
Indigo.
You got it. Indigo. Holy Cross is on the board. Still used widely in denim fabrics, and here's a lanyap of 20 points coming up. If you answer all 4 parts, Holy Cross, you can tie the game. Football's over, basketball's king. 4 regionals will be played in the NCAA basketball quarterfinals. All right, for 5 points apiece, I'll give you the region, and you tell me in what city the regional will be played. We'll begin with the Midwest regional.
New Orleans.
That's correct, in the Superdome. Mid-East regional.
Lexington.
No, a good guess. They're usually located in basketball capitals or major cities. Bloomington, Indiana, home of the University of Indiana. Eastern Regional. It's Atlanta, Georgia, in the Omni. That's a bit deceptive. Eastern. Western Regional. Take a shot.
Portland.
No, this is in Salt Lake City, Utah, but you picked up one, which is the important one. 5 points. I don't know how we got into the Midwest. Come to think of it. All right, we got another face-off. We're going for a lanyap at 20 points. This man is a 20th century American physicist who developed an electrostatic generator using a movable insulating belt to produce...
Holy Cross language.
Van de Graaff.
Right, R.J. Van de Graaff. And he eventually was able to produce a potential of millions of volts. You're trailing now 25 to 30. You've got a 20-point lanyap. Good go ahead. This couple created a scandal in London when their affair became public 5 years ago. She is the critically acclaimed biographer of Mary Queen of Scots, who was then married to a member of Parliament. At that time was married. And he's the dramatist who wrote The Homecoming and The Birthday Party. For 10 points apiece, name the two individuals who were married November 27th of last year. The playwright was Harold Pinter, and the lady who was the biographer, Lady Antonia Fraser. Okay, we'll move on to another face-off. We're going for a lanyap at 25 points. He was a member of one of the Ninth Ward's most prodigious musical families who died December 28th, 1980, while playing drums with the French Market Jazz Band on Royal Street. For 10 points, name this musician who was honored a week ago by more than 100 musical brethren who assembled at Tipitina's to honor his memory. Anyone recall the name of this
Holy
jazz
Cross,
band?
Shesby.
Fats Domino.
No. De La Salle? Anyone? Walter Daniel Popi-Lasty. All right. We have another face-off. The great passenger train, the Orient Express, no longer runs. But for 10 points, tell me, what was its terminal city in the Orient?
De La Salle, Brady.
Constantinople.
That's right, or Istanbul. You picked up 10. This is a 25-point lanyap, guys. De La Salle. The young of many animals are called by special names. For example, a lamb's a young sheep and a colt is a young horse. For 5 points each, by what name would the young of the following animals be known? First, swan.
Signet.
Correct. A goat.
Kid.
Correct again. Kangaroo.
Joey.
It is. Eel. This is unique.
Very small eel.
The only young known as what is
A very small.
a very small eel. No, there's only one that's called an elver, and that's a young eel. E-L-V-E-R. Finally, deer.
Fawn.
4 out of 5. You've got 20 points. De La Salle. We not only have some very bright people here, some very creative ones, too. Another face-off. We're going for a lanyap at 20 points, gentlemen. For 10 points, what kinds of animals were the first vertebrates on Earth, and be very specific? The first
De La Salle,
vertebrates
Davis.
of all.
Amphioxus.
Nope.
I don't know. Let's call that a band.
All right, Holy Cross, anyone want to take a shot on this? They were actually jawless or limbless fish, lampreys, hagfish, cyclostomes, ostracoderms, etc. We'll have another face-off. This American composer, whose music has been influenced by jazz and other American types of music, has written concert music in all forms and music for films and radio. His ballets include Billy the Kid, Rodeo, and
De La Salle,
Appalachian...
Sloop.
Aaron Copland.
You're right. Great American composer, Aaron Copland. This entitles you to 20 points of lanyap if you can answer all 4 questions in this. For 5 apiece, identify the musical instrument with which each of the following musicians is principally associated. They may play other instruments, but by and large, they're famous for one particular instrument. First, Wanda Landowska. She is known for her prowess on the...
Violin.
No, harpsichord. Dame Myra Hess. Excuse me.
Harp.
No, piano. Vladimir Horowitz.
Violin.
Violin is correct. And finally, Duke Ellington.
Piano.
That's correct also. You have 2 of them. 10 more points for De La Salle. Another face? No, we won't get to that face-off. All right, that buzzer means that we're about to enter a period of rapid fire. Now, during rapid fire, I ask the questions as quickly as they're answered. If you answer correctly, it's 10 points. Incorrect is -5. We have only 1 answer per question. Remember that. There's no referral as we have in face-off. And we proceed question to answer until we end the rapid fire round of 2 minutes. A countdown. We're all interested in having good public relations, I guess, so this rapid fire will deal with people, places, and things, all of which begin with the letter P or the letter R. To make it easier, we're going to alternate the letters. Remember this. First answer will start with P, second with R, return to P, then to R, and so on down the line. Got it? Okay. Number 1, the father of Ophelia in Shakespeare's Hamlet.
De La Salle, Brady.
Polonius.
Correct. Optically inactive, equimolecular mixture of a dextro and a levo-rotary sugar would be racemic. In fencing, to deflect the weapon as you are attacked.
Holy Cross, Rouchon.
Parry.
Correct. He is considered the father of the nuclear navy.
De La Salle, Sloop.
Rickover.
That's right. A porous or spongy form of volcanic glass.
De La Salle, Davis.
Pumice.
That's right. The mongoose who was the hero in Kipling's
De La Salle, Ross.
Ricky Tikki Tavi.
That's right. A kind of horse with golden color and cream
De La
colored.
Salle, Ross.
Palomino.
That's right. The nightclub owner who shot Lee Harvey Oswald.
De La Salle, Davis.
Jack Ruby.
Correct. The name of the American ship captured by North Korea and captained by Lloyd
De La
Bucher.
Salle, Ross.
Pueblo.
Right. 19th century English writer, critic, and social reformer. Anyone. His name was Ruskin. A solid figure having many sides.
Holy Cross, Rouchon.
Polyhedron.
That's right. Legend says she sewed the first American flag.
Holy Cross, Rouchon.
Betsy Ross.
Correct. The eternal antagonist of the puppet Judy.
De La Salle, Ross.
Punch.
Right. One nickname of Georgia Tech's football team.
Holy Cross, Rouchon.
Ramblin' Rat.
Right. Peace in Latin.
De La Salle, Brady.
Pox.
Correct. Author of Believe It or Not.
De La Salle, Brady.
Ripley.
Right. The mellow, light-colored Italian cheese, usually smoked after drying.
Holy Cross, Chesby.
Pomonaro.
No, it's provolone. What the President of the United States gets along with flourishes. He gets what in flourishes? Ruffles. Cereal for babies.
Holy Cross, Rouchon.
It's pablum. The sensory membrane of the eye.
De La Salle, Davis.
Retina.
Correct. The author of Inside Las Vegas and The Godfather.
Holy Cross, Rouchon.
Pucci.
No, close. It's Puzo. Mario Puzo. Device for varying the resistance of an electric circuit without interrupting the circuit.
De La Salle, Brady.
Rheostat.
Rheostat on the buzzer. Got it. Okay, that winds up our first half of play. Had a spirited first round. Let's take a little breather here. We'll be back in a moment to talk to the individual members about their future plans. So stay tuned.
And just as we surfaced, one of the other divers had surfaced a few yards away, and he shouted, "There's a gun down here."
In 1971, it was pulled from the sea, a gun found in Ireland's Kinnago Bay, the first clue to the whereabouts of La Trinidad Valenciera, a recovery mission on Odyssey. See it tonight at 7 on Channel 12.
We'll resume play in the second half in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, but right now we're going to talk to the individuals playing today's contest about their future plans. We'll start here with De La Salle High School and Clark Brady.
I plan to attend the University of New Orleans and major in physics and eventually go on for a doctorate in astronomy.
Well, good luck to you, Clark. How about you, Ken? Captain?
Well, I plan to attend LSU and study veterinary medicine.
Steve, what are your plans? You made up your mind yet?
Well, no, I haven't. I'm just starting to look at colleges and different majors, so I haven't really made a decision yet.
Any particular interest, do you think?
Maybe
pointed in
some
any way?
sort of writing,
Writing, huh?
maybe.
Good. Nicholas?
I plan to go to MIT and study naval architecture.
Very good. Excellent school, obviously. De La Salle High School, it's good to have you back. De La Salle. Cavaliers. Okay, Tigers, how about you guys? David, have you made up your mind what you're going to do?
Yeah, so I plan to go to Cornell University and study aerospace physics.
Mike?
I'll probably major in economics at Northwestern University in Illinois.
Grant, have you made up a decision?
I think I'll probably major in computer engineering at Princeton University.
You'll have a wide variety of interests, that's for sure. What about you, Steve?
I plan to study computer engineering and electrical engineering at Notre Dame.
We're going to have these guys scattered all over the country, making New Orleans famous all over again. Holy Cross, it's delightful to have you with us. And, of course, we are about to embark on our second half of play, so good luck. Holy Cross and De La Salle. And here we go. Okay, if you're ready on the firing line, here's the first face-off. We're leading up to a lanyap of 30 points. This face-off is going to be a visual one, so you'll direct your attention to the two monitors here in the studio facing you. We're going to show you a picture, and you'll see a famous clarinetist band leader who, with his band, recently performed in New Orleans.
Holy Cross to let.
Woody Herman?
That's his name, Woody Herman, on the board, Holy Cross. All right, you got a chance to really nibble into that margin now with a lagniappe of 30 points. Identify for 10 points apiece the poetic devices illustrated in the examples given. First, the imitation of natural sounds, as in hiss, buzz, or thud.
Onomatopoeia.
That's correct for 10 points, for 10 more. The repetition of initial consonant sounds, as in what tales of migrant mogus might you tell?
Alliteration.
Right, and finally, for 10 more and a total of 30, the correspondence in terminal sounds of 2 or more words or lines.
Ron.
Right, 30 points. Okay. Here's a face-off. This is leading toward a lagniappe of 25. It's like a family vendetta, as Plaquemines Parish Commission Council President was indicted by a special parish
Holy
grand...
Cross language.
Shalom Perez.
Perez will accept that. Perez is a family name. It's brother against brother. We're going to get a little deeper into this plot, but one way or another, here we have a lagniappe of 25 points. I will give you 5 points for each of the 5 member nations of the United Nations Security Council that you can name. Okay? They're 5 in all.
The United States.
Correct.
Soviet Union.
Correct.
France.
Right.
Great Britain.
Right. And one
and
more.
People's Republic of China.
You got them all. 25 points for Holy Cross. The Tigers came out roaring here in the second half. They've cut that lead by almost 100 points. Here we have another face-off. We're going for a lagniappe of 30 points. For a quick 10, name the vitamin that contains a metallic chemical element.
Holy Cross language.
Element.
Iron.
No. De La Salle, can you take it? Anyone?
De La Salle, Davis.
Vitamin D.
No, it's vitamin B12 or cobalamin. Cobalamin. Another face-off. She wrote, guns are unlawful, nooses give. Gas smells awful, might as well live. As well as the more familiar men never make passes at girls who wear glasses. Okay, for 10 points, identify this famous female author of comic doggerel.
Holy Cross, Rushan.
Irma Bombeck?
No. De La Salle. Dorothy Parker. Dorothy Parker was her name. All right, we have another face-off. What word is both the name of the Roman goddess of fruits and also the name of a city in Southern California?
Holy Cross, Rushan.
Pasadena?
No. De La Salle. Anyone? Pomona. Another face-off. His father was a half-crazy parson. His mother was giddy. 2 of his brothers were unbalanced. Another was addicted to opium. His sister, Mary, was eccentric, and he himself suffered from what seems to have been transcendental seizures. Yet this great English lyrical poet became Poet Laureate of England under
Holy
Queen
Cross language.
Wordsworth.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. We'll repeat for De La Salle. Once again, father half-crazy, a parson, mother giddy, 2 of his brothers unbalanced, the other opium. His sister eccentric, he himself transcendental seizures. Great English lyrical poet, became Poet Laureate of England under Queen Victoria. De La Salle, was given a peerage, outsold any poet in history. For 10 points, named this 19th century author of The Charge of the Light Brigade.
De La Salle, Davis.
Tennyson.
That's right. All of that to get up to Alfred Lord Tennyson for 10 points. De La Salle. All right, you have a chance now to widen your lead once again if you can answer all 3 parts of this. Or actually, it's a clue question, so if you answer on the first question, it's 30 points. On the second, 20. On the third, 10. Here's the first clue to a famous person, a very famous person. She became Queen-elect of Sweden at the age of 6. At the age of 6. All right, we'll ask for an answer, please.
Christiana.
That's right, Queen Christiana. Well, it only took 1 clue, and you picked up 30 more points. Another face-off. We're going for a lagniappe at 20. It's a term commonly used in heraldry and in descriptions of heraldic badges. For 10 points, can you tell me, what does gules mean? G-U-L-E-S. You may have seen this in crossword puzzles. It's not often used, of course. It's from heraldry. It means red. All right, we have another face-off. If your memories are good, you'll be able to tell me for 10 points what city was a site for negotiations between the United States and North Vietnam during the Vietnam conflict. Remember? Peace conferences were held there for many weeks.
Honolulu.
No, afraid not. Holy Cross. Can you take it? Anyone?
Holy Cross language.
Hanoi.
No, it was in Paris. Paris, France. Another face-off for 10 points. Tell me, what former New Orleans mayor was the head of Health and Human Resource?
De La Salle Ross.
Moon Landry.
That's correct. Moon Landrieu. During the Carter administration. You have a lanyap of 20 points for 10 points each. Identify the following terms used to describe the human skull. First, the term for human skull in which the width is less than 4/5 of the length, or in other words, it's long-headed. People who are long-headed. It's a scientific term.
I refer to Brady.
All right.
Pendulous?
No, the term is dolichocephalic. Dolichocephalic. The term for a human skull in which the width is at least 4/5 of the length are short-headed. All right.
Nordic.
Nordic? No, brachiocephalic are short-headed. Why don't they just say short-headed? Okay, we got another face-off. We're going for a lanyap at 20. According to legend, when the library at Pergamum, an ancient Greek kingdom of Asia Minor, threatened to become better than that in Alexandria, the Egyptians cut off the supply of papyrus to Pergamum. So the people of Pergamum developed a writing material made from thin layers of animal skin, the name of which comes from Pergamum. For 10 points, what is this name?
De La Salle, Brady.
Parchment?
That's right. That's where they developed parchment. Here's your lanyap at 20 points. It's about numbers, but you don't need to be a mathematician to get the first three. For 5 points each, tell me the number that fits each of the statements that I'm going to make. Number one, the number of points in Woodrow Wilson's peace plan after World War I.
14.
Correct. The number of years mentioned at the beginning of the Gettysburg Address when you add it all up.
80.
No, it's 87. I'm
87.
sorry. 87. 407. The number of Hercules labors.
12.
Correct. And finally, the only even prime number.
2.
You got that too. 3 of the 4. 15 points. Another face-off. Going for a lanyap at 20. For a quick 10, tell me, what's the last letter of the Greek alphabet?
De La Salle, Brady.
Omega.
Correct. From alpha to omega, beginning to end. Omega's the last. It's worth 10 points. There's a lanyap of 20 in 4 parts. Oklahoma is going to be at the Sanger Performing Arts Center through February 8th. For 5 points each, give me the names of the following characters in the play. I mean the names in the play, not the actors who portray them. Number 1, the male star, he sings, "Oh, What a Beautiful Morning."
Curly.
Right. The female lead.
Laurie.
Right. She's just the girl who can't say no. All right.
Ado Annie.
That's right. And finally, he tells us that everything is up to date in Kansas City.
Kurt.
No, it's Will Parker, but you got 3. That's 15 more points for De La Salle. We're going for a lanyap at 35. The face-off for a quick 10. Tell me, who is the creator of the Muppets?
De La Salle Ross.
Jim Henson.
Correct, for 10 points. Here's a lanyap at 35. Only 7 men in the history of the United States government have held the office of Secretary of State under 2 different presidents. Under 2 different presidents. For 5 points apiece, name them. That's a large lanyap, 35, extraordinaire. There have only been 7 who've been Secretary of State under 2 different presidents. Give you just a little more time for a list.
Kissinger, Dulles, Jefferson, Adlai Stevenson.
All right, we're going to have to intervene here, and we'll have to wrap it up. The first 3 you named were Secretaries of State, but only under 1 president. And this is a tough and testing question. Those who served under 2, ready? Thomas Pickering, Daniel Webster, William Seward, James G. Blaine, John Hay, Charles Evan Hughes, who became a Chief Justice, and Dean Rusk. Interesting and unusual. Tough question. Here's another face-off. We're going for a lanyap at 20. In its original Arabic form, shamat, this word means the king is dead. It's often used today, however, associated with the game of chess. For 10 points, tell me.
De La Salle, Brady.
Checkmate.
That's what it means, checkmate. The Shah is dead, the king is dead. Checkmate. We have another lanyap at 20 points. Marcel Proust was not the only novelist to write multi-volume accounts of a character's life for 10 points apiece. Name the American writers who created the following. First, 2 volumes of a proposed trilogy entitled The Epic of Wheat. Epic of Wheat, written by Frank Norris. Second, a trilogy about Chicago life entitled Studs Lonigan. This was James T. Farrell. James T. Farrell. Another face-off. Going for a lanyap at 20. It is a plane curve, which is the path or locus of a moving point that remains equidistant from a fixed
Parabola. Ready.
You're right, it is a parabola. Picking up 10. De La Salle, you're going now for a 20-point lanyap. Name the Greek, not Roman gods or goddesses of the following things. First, the god of love.
Eros.
Correct. For 5 more. Goddess of the harvest or vegetation.
Demeter.
Correct again. God of fire.
Prometheus.
Hephaestus.
That's right. And finally, god of the sea.
Poseidon.
You've got them all. 20 points. Here's another face-off. We're going for a lanyap at 30 points, teams. For 10 points, tell me who was the first black player in the American League.
De La Salle, Ross.
Jackie Robinson.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. We'll repeat now for Holy Cross must ring in. For 10 points, tell me who was the first black player in American League baseball. American League. Jackie Robinson was the first black player in organized Major League Baseball. Larry Doby was the first American League player. And that explains that question. The buzzer has sounded. We're going to count up the score, validate it, and then we'll be back to declare our winner officially. Stay tuned. We'll return. The score is official. It's been validated, and De La Salle has 350. Holy Cross 120. De La Salle wins, and they'll advance to the third. A good high-scoring contest. Holy Cross, we look forward to seeing your school back here again. Who'll be back next year? Not everybody graduates, huh? Who's coming back? Mr. Shasby, you're going to be the nucleus of a tough team. I can see that. Okay. Holy Cross, winning 1 game, lost to a tough team, De La Salle, who made the finals last year. Now De La Salle goes on to round 3, and they will play the winner of Thibodeau and Benjamin Franklin's game in round 3 Varsity Quiz Bowl, April. We'll see you guys then, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.
The questions on Varsity Quiz Bowl are prepared and authenticated by the WIS editorial research staff and known only in advance to the quizmaster, producer, judge, and researcher. All 64 schools participating in our year-long tournament are matched by blind draw. Selections of team members and methods of preparation are the sole responsibility of the schools and their coaches.
For a printed bound transcript of this program, send $2 to Firing Line, Post Office Box 5966, Columbia, South Carolina 29250. Indicate the subject of the program and please allow 3 weeks for delivery. This